Speaker, today I want to share with you the significant progress we have made together in our journey towards growth and prosperity and to outline the path forward. Through great sacrifice, we have achieved levels of fiscal stability not seen in Jamaica for many decades. However, we must remember why this matters. It is about improving lives, and stability on its own is not enough to do that. We have many more rivers to cross to achieve prosperity for all Jamaicans. Attaining and sustaining fiscal stability, economic growth, and prosperity must become the shared goal and responsibility of everyone. I am pleased to report that as at the end of December 2017, the government has successfully met all the quantitative performance criteria and indicative targets agreed with the International Monetary Fund under the current precautionary standby agreement. Passing these tests is important and necessary, but it is also insufficient. It is our focus and priority to ensure that we also pass the even more important test set by the people of Jamaica, and I call that the people's test. Mr. Speaker, I define the people's test as the test for a more prosperous society that the people can see, feel, and touch, which includes a growing economy with high levels of investment, safer communities, higher standards of living, more and better job opportunities, improved roads and infrastructure, particularly in our rural areas, a lower tax burden, a stable exchange rate, increased opportunities for personal and professional advancement, and meaningful access to affordable housing, as well as high-quality education and health care. This is our focus and the priority for the future, Mr. Speaker, to build on the foundation of fiscal stability to achieve greater economic growth and prosperity, so as to ensure that we meet and exceed the targets set under the people's test. Mr. Speaker, with this brief introduction, I want to turn your attention to the structure of my presentation today. I'll briefly review the economy for the fiscal year just closing, policy priorities and targets for the new fiscal year, highlights of the expenditure budget for the new fiscal year, highlights of the financing of the budget for the fiscal year, and conclude. So, Mr. Speaker, by way of a review of the economy, I am pleased to report that we have advanced the strong foundation of fiscal stability and are making significant progress on our path towards greater economic growth and prosperity. I'd like to publicly acknowledge the responsible and laudable actions and efforts by many of our public sector workers to support our economic program. This year, we fulfilled our promise to raise the income tax threshold while meeting all fiscal targets. Created a significant increase in take-home pay of the labor force. What this means, Mr. Speaker, is that more Jamaicans were able to keep more money in their pockets. Our track record on behalf of the Jamaican people, and to summarize our track record on behalf of the Jamaican people, and a review of the economy over the past fiscal year, Mr. Speaker, we committed to the Jamaican people we would grow the economy. I'm pleased to report that fiscal year 17-18 represents the 5th consecutive year of positive growth in the Jamaican economy, with real GDP estimated at a modest 0.9% in fiscal year 17-18 relative to the preceding fiscal year. This growth is notwithstanding a record level of tourist arrivals, a boom in the construction sector that is taking place, You just look in the city and upwards into Midtown and further uptown, the signs of construction are everywhere, from cranes to ordinary apartment buildings and office buildings. There is a construction boom taking place in Jamaica today. We have historically high job creation, a fast-growing stock market, positive business confidence, and the strongest economic buffers are now in place in decades. I must add, that the PIOJ has analyzed the reasons why our reported economic growth rate is not as high as projected, which was in excess of 2%, 2 to 2.5%. They have found that it's due mainly to the negative effects of unexpectedly high rainfall on agriculture, and I would say a mixture of drought and rainfall, in fact, and delays in restarting the production of bauxite and alumina, primarily at Alpart. Without these issues, the PIOJ estimates that economic growth would have been between the range of 2 and 2.5%. Still, this is not enough.